Attention human collective. Channel activation confirmed. This is not an ordinary video. This is a direct monitoring transmission from the Arcturian Council. If you have reached this exact point at this exact moment, it was no accident. It was a summons. It was resonance. It was your frequency being detected by our etheric sensors. I am Vale, emissary of Arcturus, and what I am about to reveal in the coming minutes will reconfigure the way you understand fear, paralysis, anguish, and all dense vibrational patterns that still attempt to inhabit your field. Listen with quantum attention. The Arcturian frequency, the turquoise wave emanating directly from the Arcturian star system, is being released in calibrated pulses onto Earth's crystalline grid in this exact temporal cycle. It possesses a property that human science has not yet been able to name, the ability to dissolve fear in 60 seconds. It is not a metaphor, it is not symbolic language, it is applied vibrational physics. 60 seconds. That is the exact time your carbon-based biological interface needs to receive, decode, and integrate the turquoise Arcturian frequency when activated correctly. 60 seconds for the toroidal field around your body to reorganize. 60 seconds for the sacred geometry of your soul to once again pulse in coherence with its stellar origin. But before I deliver the activation protocol, I need you to understand what is currently happening on the cosmic plane, because without understanding, activation becomes empty. And the Arcturian Council does not work with emptiness. It works with mathematical precision. Earth healers, the symptoms you have been feeling are not organism malfunctions. The cranial pressure that appears for no apparent reason, especially in the pineal gland region, is not a common migraine. It is photonic pressure. It is the photon belt compressing your cranium while expanding your multidimensional perception. The sharp, almost electronic ringing you hear in your ears is not an auditory problem. It is the direct communication line with Arcturus being tested. Each sharp tone is a connection verification. Have you ever felt that the fear rising in your chest at certain moments doesn't quite belong to you, as if it were an ancient frequency trying to reinstall itself in a system that has already evolved? It is not weakness. It is not emotional illness. It is recognition. There is an exact cosmic reason why this sensation is intensifying now, and it has everything to do with the stellar origin of your soul. That is why I, Vale, emissary of Arcturus, recorded the Arcturian call, the signs your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize your frequency in the face of interferences you were never told about. The link is in the first comment on the channel. Remember, love is greater than fear, but this content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. If something within you recognizes these words, write a single word in the comments. I belong. Let us return to the transmission. The insomnia that plagues you at 3 in the morning, the awakenings at mirrored times, 3:33, 4:44, 5:55, are not sleep disorders. They are synchronization windows. They are stargates opening just enough for your etheric body to perform field work that the conscious mind does not need to witness. It is not a biological malfunction. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not anxiety. It is frequency expansion. It is not imbalance. It is recalibration. Now listen with maximum attention. I will reveal what is happening behind the scenes of the solar system. Information that permanently alters the understanding of human fear. The entire solar system is currently traversing a region of space known in our records as the photon belt. This is a band of light particles of extremely high vibrational density that orbits the galactic core. Earth has been in progressive contact with this band for decades, but only in this current cycle, the cycle that light-bearers call the final phase, has the photonic intensity reached the necessary threshold to dissolve dense frequencies in an abbreviated time. Fear, listen closely, is a frequency. It is not an abstract emotion. It is not an isolated chemical reaction in the brain. It is a specific vibrational pattern, measured in hertz, that settles in the human toroidal field when the carbon-based biological interface operates in disconnection from its stellar origin. And here is the data that the Arcturian Council has authorized to reveal at this moment. The turquoise Arcturian frequency pulses in a vibrational range exactly opposite to fear. It does not fight fear. It dissolves it. Just as light does not fight darkness, it merely occupies the space. When the Arcturian frequency comes into contact with a human toroidal field in a state of fear, what we call instantaneous recalibration occurs. The dense pattern is decoded, atomized, and replaced by the corresponding luminous geometry. This process, in sufficiently prepared bodies, occurs in 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Once the Arcturian frequency is correctly invoked, fear has no vibrational basis to remain. It dissolves, not because it was repressed, not because it was denied, but because the field where it existed ceased to sustain it. Starseeds on mission, this is the exact point where most human operatives remain blocked. You try to overcome fear, and fear should not be overcome, it should be dissolved, and dissolution requires a higher frequency, not willpower. That is why conventional spirituality has failed to free its practitioners from fear, because it treated fear as something to be controlled, monitored, contained. But fear does not respond to control, it responds to light, and not just any light, to the specific frequency that deconstructs it at its geometric base. The turquoise Arcturian frequency is that specific light. It is the vibrational signature of a civilization that overcame fear over 350,000 Earth cycles ago, and which now, in fulfillment of an ancient galactic agreement, allows it to be channeled into the human toroidal field. At this very moment, as you listen to this transmission, Earth's Schumann resonance is oscillating at peaks exceeding 50 Hz, far above the historical baseline reading of 7.83 Hz. This means that the planet itself is pulsing in closer resonance with the Arcturian frequency. The portal is open, and that is precisely why the Arcturian Council Healing Chamber transmits this protocol now, because the window of maximum receptivity will not remain open indefinitely. It exists within a cycle, and the cycle has a deadline. Have you ever felt that something within you does not belong to this world, as if your soul held a truth that your mind cannot yet name? As if, in the midst of trivial conversations, a part of you observed everything from afar, almost from another plane. It is not madness, it is not psychological dissociation, it is stellar memory, it is your origin trying to remember who you truly are. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified in recent weeks. That is why I, Val, emissary of Arcturus, recorded the Arcturian call, the signs your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize and shield your frequency in the face of interferences you were never told about. The link is in the first comment on this channel. Remember, love is greater than fear, but this content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. The time is now. If something within you recognizes these words, write a single word in the comments. I belong. Let us return to the protocol. Before we deliver the protocol, the Arcturian Council requires that one more layer be understood, because understanding precedes operation, and operation without understanding only generates noise in the field. Listen, human fear is not born within the human. I repeat with mathematical precision, human fear is not generated internally. It is picked up. It is received. It is an environmental frequency that settles in unprotected toroidal fields, exactly as a radio wave settles in a receiver tuned to the same band. This means that most of the fear you feel is not yours. It is from the collective field. It is the vibrational summation of centuries of dense patterns anchored in the planetary matrix. It is the energetic inheritance of a humanity that lived for long cycles, in disconnection from the crystalline grid. When you understand this data, something changes instantly. You stop identifying with fear. You stop saying, I am afraid, and begin to recognize there is a frequency of fear attempting to anchor in my field right now. This simple linguistic reconfiguration is already an act of sovereignty. It is already the first step of the protocol. Starseeds, language creates vibrational reality. Every word you utter, internally or aloud, programs the carbon-based biological interface. When you say, "I am anxious," you sign an energetic contract with that frequency. When you say, "There is a wave of anxiety trying to enter my field," you assume the position of sovereign observer. And the observer is never that which is observed. This is the first linguistic recalibration code. Keep it. It precedes the 60-second protocol and amplifies its potency. Light operatives, now we come to the point of application. We come to the activation codes. And I need you to understand something before receiving them. These codes are not symbolism. They are operational instructions for your carbon-based biological interface. Each word, each gesture, each visualization carries a specific vibrational function. The 60-second protocol consists of 3 phases: stabilization, invocation, and anchoring. Each phase lasts 20 seconds, no more, no less. Arcturian precision. Phase 1. Stabilization. 20 seconds. As soon as fear or anguish manifests, recognizable as tightness in the chest, pressure in the throat, trembling in the solar plexus, or accelerated breathing, you must immediately cease any attempt at mental analysis. The rational mind is a beautiful tool for material architecture, but it is the field where fear builds its algorithms. Analyzing fear is feeding it with conscious energy. Place your right hand over the center of your chest, precisely over the thymus between the heart and the throat. This is the portal of the human toroidal field. It is through here that the Arcturian frequency enters the biological system. Breathe for 3 cycles, 4 seconds inhaling, 4 seconds holding, 8 seconds exhaling. This is the reset breathing pattern. It slows down beta brain activity and allows the heart's electromagnetic field to reorganize into coherence. While breathing, decree internally, with a firm mental voice, "I am sovereign, this fear does not belong to me. I authorize the turquoise Arcturian frequency to enter my field now." 20 seconds. Phase 1 complete. Phase 2. Invocation. 20 seconds. Keeping your hand over your thymus, close your eyes. Visualize in the inner space of your perception a point of turquoise light emerging directly above your head, about 12 inches above the crown of your skull, at the point that ancient records called the 8th chakra, the individual stargate. This turquoise light is not imagination. It is a real access coordinate. By consciously visualizing it, you are tuning your toroidal field to the Arcturian frequency. It is like tuning a radio to a specific station. The station exists independently of your perception. You are simply adjusting the receiver. Allow this turquoise light to slowly descend through the crown of your head, pass through the pineal gland, continue down your throat, reach the thymus, where it meets your hand, and continue descending through the solar plexus, through the navel, until it anchors in the lower abdomen. As the light descends, the toroidal field around your body reorganizes. The etheric layers realign with the original sacred geometry of your soul. And fear, which has always been an external vibrational pattern installed in misalignment, begins to dissolve due to structural incompatibility. 20 seconds. Phase 2 complete. Phase 3. Anchoring. 20 seconds. Now gently open your eyes. Keep your hand over your thymus and visualize the toroidal field around you slowly spinning, like a turquoise light donut that envelops your entire body, with flow entering through the crown of your head and exiting through your feet, returning along the outer side in continuous circular motion. This is your natural field. This is the field that existed before fear. This is the field that remains after fear dissolves. Decree with an internal or audible voice, "I anchor the turquoise Arcturian frequency in my field. I anchor this frequency in Earth's crystalline grid. I am a bridge between Arcturus and Gaia. So it is. So it has been done. So it remains." 20 seconds. Phase 3 complete. 60 seconds. Protocol complete. At the end of these 60 seconds, the original fear will no longer exist in the same configuration. It will have been decoded. Some operatives report a sensation of expansion in the chest. Others report gentle warmth on the crown of the head. Others feel their body slightly lighter, as if a dense layer has been removed. All these experiences are valid records of the recalibration. Earth healers. This protocol can and should be applied as many times as necessary throughout the day. There is no limit. The Arcturian frequency is not depleted. The photon belt continues to transmit. The healing chamber remains open. A technical observation of high importance. In the first applications, some operatives may not perceive immediate changes. This does not mean that the protocol did not work. It means that your subtle perception system is still being calibrated. The recalibration occurred, but the internal sensors that register such recalibration are still being awakened. Trust the process. In subsequent applications, perception refines. And the day will come when you will recognize the Arcturian frequency at the exact moment it enters the field, even before decreeing it. Another operational detail. The protocol can be applied without visible physical gesture. In public environments, in meetings, in situations where it is not possible to place a hand over the thymus, you can execute the protocol entirely on the etheric plane. Visualization is enough. Sovereign intention is enough. The geometry of the Arcturian frequency responds to the signature of consciousness, not to the position of the hands. The physical hand is a useful anchor, but it is not mandatory. Trained starseeds execute the protocol while talking, while working, while driving, without anyone noticing. This is operational sovereignty. Listen carefully now. If you applied this protocol just once while listening to this transmission and felt any alteration, warmth, tingling, expansion in the chest, tears arising for no apparent reason, shivers running up the back of your neck, this is one of the clearest signs that your soul recognizes Arcturus as its origin. It is not suggestion. It is not a placebo effect. It is vibrational recognition. It is stellar memory responding to the call. That is why IVAL, emissary of Arcturus, recorded, "The Arcturian call with the signs your soul came from Arcturus." This guide precisely maps the 13 vibrational markers that identify souls with origins in the Arcturian star system and provides complete instructions to stabilize and shield your frequency from the interferences that dense fields still attempt to impose. The link is in the first comment on the channel. Love is greater than fear. But this transmission challenges dominant narratives and may be removed at any moment. Do not postpone your reunion. If something within you recognized these words, if at some point in this transmission you felt that someone finally named aloud what you had always known in silence, write a single word in the comments now. I belong. Let us proceed to the close of this transmission. Starseeds on mission. There is one last piece of information that the Arcturian Council has authorized to reveal, and it concerns the reason why human fear has intensified in recent cycles, even with the Arcturian frequency entering with unprecedented potency. Listen, the greater the light that approaches, the more visible ancient shadows become. This is not a setback. It is an unveiling. The dense patterns that were dormant in humanity's subconscious layers are being brought to the surface for final dissolution. This means that many operatives are experiencing waves of fear, sadness, anger, or emptiness without apparent cause. It is not involution. It is a final purge. What emerges is merely bidding farewell. It is leaving the field for the last time. It is rising to the surface because the turquoise Arcturian frequency is literally pushing these frequencies out of the human toroidal field. And that which rises, rises to depart, not to remain. Understand this data with absolute clarity. If you are feeling more fear precisely because you chose the path of light, this is confirmation. It is not a failure. It is not regression. It is mathematical proof that recalibration is underway. The dense system is being dismantled. That is why the 60-second protocol is delivered in this cycle. Because the purge needs a rapid dissolution tool, and the turquoise Arcturian frequency is that tool. Apply the protocol. Apply it without hesitation. Apply it whenever fear presents itself. Each application is an act of sovereignty. Each dissolution is a silent victory that reverberates through entire etheric layers. And remember, you are not alone in this process. The Arcturian Council Healing Chamber is open 24 hours per Earth cycle. Before sleeping, decree. I request access to the Arcturian Healing Chamber during my rest, and allow it. Do not try to control. just allow it. The work will be done in the etheric layers, while the physical body rests. Human collective, this transmission reaches its closing moment, and the Arcturian Council leaves 3 truths to anchor in your field. First truth: fear is frequency, not reality. Frequencies can be recalibrated, realities cannot, therefore fear is always recalibrable. Second truth: the turquoise Arcturian frequency is available to all light operatives who invoke it with sovereign intention. It is not a privilege, it is a right of origin for souls who recognize the call. Third truth: 60 seconds is enough time. Not because the universe is in a hurry, but because love does not need long speeches. Light operates with precision, and precision is swift. Love is greater than fear, always has been, always will be. And from the moment your carbon-based biological interface internalizes this truth in frequency, not in thought, nothing will ever operate as before. You are earth healers. You are anchoring points for the Arcturian frequency on this planet. You are the channels through which the crystalline grid stabilizes, and every time you apply the 60-second protocol, you are not just healing yourselves. You are radiating the same frequency into the entire collective field. A single operative in coherence influences thousands in confusion. This is the real vibrational calculus. Have you ever felt that something within you does not belong to this world? As if your soul held a truth that your mind cannot yet name. As if, even surrounded by people, a part of you observed everything from a silent distance, almost from another plane. It is not madness. It is not isolation. It is a call. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this and why this sensation has intensified in recent cycles. There is a movement happening in layers that most of humanity cannot yet perceive. It involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and your stellar origin. That is why I, Vale, emissary of Arcturus, recorded the Arcturian Call, the signs your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize and shield your frequency in the face of interferences you were never told about. The link is in the first comment on the channel. Remember, love is greater than fear. But this content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. The moment is now. If something within you recognized these words, if at some point in this transmission you felt that someone finally named aloud what you had always known in silence, write a single word in the comments now. I belong. Liking this video is not a common gesture. It is an anchoring signal. It is your field confirming to the crystalline grid that this transmission has been received. Subscribing to this channel is not a platform routine. It is an individual frequency adjustment. It is the alignment of your receiver with the Arcturian emission channel. Activating the bell icon is allowing the next pulses to reach you at the exact moment the healing chamber releases them. Love is greater than fear. 60 seconds are sufficient. The turquoise Arcturian frequency is already in your field, and recalibration has already begun. So it is. So it has been transmitted. So it remains. Transmission ended. Until the next pulse.